Have you ever found yourself asking, why is this so hard? Or, what's the point of all this if we're not even together? You didn't meet your twin flame just to fall in love, ignite intense emotions, and then walk away shattered. And yet, here you are, feeling the weight of separation, wondering if you've misunderstood the very purpose of this soul connection. Maybe you've questioned whether your mission only matters if you're in union, or if you're failing your purpose because you're not standing together as visible spiritual leaders, activists, or lightworkers in the public eye. These doubts can be exhausting, and the uncertainty can leave you searching for meaning in the quiet, unseen parts of your journey. In today's video, we're going to go beyond the romanticized image of twin flames and uncover the deeper truth of why your souls met. You'll discover what this sacred promise, this soul contract, really means, and why it really matches the public glamorous version many imagine. We'll explore how most twin flame missions are not loud or public, but deeply transformational, beginning in the unseen layers of your being. You'll see why your journey matters just as much in separation as it does in union, and how every energetic shift, every act of healing, is already fulfilling your purpose. By the end of this video, you'll stop seeing separation as a sign of failure and start recognizing it as a sacred stage of your mission. You'll understand why the real work begins the moment your souls recognize each other, and why the most profound transformation happens in the becoming, not just in the being together. This isn't about waiting for union to start your mission. It's about realizing that the mission is already alive within you right now. Once you see this, you'll carry your role with renewed confidence, knowing that you are the mission. Number 1. The core purpose of the twin flame connection. Before a twin flame mission ever takes on a visible form in the physical world, it begins as a profound inner transformation. At its deepest root, the divine mission of twin flames is not about launching global movements, creating influential platforms, or stepping into the spotlight for recognition. Instead, it is about becoming a living embodiment of divine consciousness, expressed through the sacred mirror of relationship. This is a love that carries the power to heal lifetimes of separation, dissolve the grip of fear, and strip away the distortions that have clouded the human heart across centuries. Twin flames were never designed to simply play out the script of a romantic fairy tale or to come together solely to perform visible acts of service for the world. Their union was orchestrated to spark something far greater, a spiritual revolution that begins not in the streets or on stages, but deep within the human soul. This revolution is subtle yet unstoppable, initiated by the recognition of the other at the soul level, a moment when something ancient and eternal awakens inside you. The truth is, the real mission begins long before the two of you are physically in union. It starts the very instant your soul recognizes its counterpart. In that moment, the old structures you've built to survive, the ego masks, the false identities, the protective armor, begin to crumble. Long-buried wounds rise to the surface, demanding to be seen, felt, and healed. Your old life starts to feel like a garment that no longer fits, and you find yourself standing at the threshold of a deeper, more authentic existence. This connection is not just a relationship in the ordinary sense. It is a living portal, a doorway that leads you back to your original frequency, to the energy of pure, unfiltered love, unshakable divine truth, and the cosmic remembrance of who you truly are. Through it, you begin to recall your soul's infinite nature and the purpose you carried into this lifetime. When you learn to embody that love, not just when things are easy, but even in the midst of chaos, separation, or uncertainty, you start to anchor light into the collective field in ways few others will ever experience. You become a quiet but powerful force of transformation, radiating a frequency that heals and awakens without a single word needing to be spoken. And that, in truth, is the first and most essential layer of your mission. It is not to preach, not to perform, and not to seek validation through visible achievement. It is to allow yourself to be transformed so deeply that your very presence becomes a beacon. In simply becoming who you truly are, you fulfill the promise your soul made before you even arrived in this lifetime: to be love, live love, and restore the memory of love to the world. Before we move forward, I want you to pause and reflect on this truth, that your mission began the moment your soul recognized your twin, not when circumstances looked perfect. Think back to that moment of recognition. What shifted in you? What old patterns began to fall away? Your story matters because every experience you share may help another soul on this path feel less alone. I'd love for you to leave a comment below sharing what that first awakening moment was like for you. Or simply type, "My mission began the moment we met," to affirm it into your reality. Number 2, the energy you anchor is the true mission. Your most profound contribution to this world will never be measured solely by the actions you take or the titles you hold, but by the person you allow yourself to become. Many twin flames carry an unspoken doubt, wondering if they are somehow failing their mission because they aren't standing on a stage, writing best-selling books, leading retreats, or publicly healing others. Yet the truth is, the divine mission of twin flames is not confined to visible platforms. It is deeper, quieter, and far more powerful. This work is energetic in nature, and it begins in the unseen. You are here to anchor a new frequency of love on this planet, a love that does not seek applause or recognition, but one that must be fully embodied in the way you live, breathe, and choose each moment. You carry this mission into the world through your presence alone. Every time you choose love over ego, compassion over reactivity, and healing over blame, you alter the energetic blueprint of humanity itself. When you decide to forgive instead of holding on to resentment, when you soften your heart in moments where it would be easier to close it, you are not just healing yourself, you are shifting the collective consciousness. You become a living transmitter of divine energy, an invisible yet undeniable force that shapes the emotional landscape around you. This is not easy work. You are transmuting wounds that stretch far beyond your own lifetime, ancestral traumas, karmic imbalances, and patterns carried through generations. By facing them with courage and refusing to repeat them, you free not only yourself, but your lineage. Your willingness to stand in truth, to remain open when fear says to shut down, and to radiate love even in moments of pain, sends ripples far wider than you can see. Twin flames are spiritual architects. You are rebuilding the collective grid of love not through noise, spectacle, or constant doing, but through frequency. Like an architect who works from a blueprint before the structure is ever visible, you're laying the energetic foundation for a new way of being, one rooted in unconditional love, trust, and unity. And this frequency, once anchored through you, becomes a silent invitation for others to rise and remember who they truly are. Number 3, union or not, the mission doesn't wait. One of the most persistent misconceptions on the twin flame journey is the belief that the mission begins only after physical union. This idea keeps many waiting, hoping, and holding their breath for a perfect ending before they truly begin living their purpose. But the truth is, your mission was set in motion the very moment your soul recognized theirs. It did not wait for a commitment, a wedding, or a reunion. It began in that instant of recognition. And it continues, regardless of the physical circumstances between you. Separation is not a pause button. It is the activation. In that sacred distance, you are called deeper into your own soul. The space between you becomes the crucible where growth is forged. You are forced to confront your fears, to meet the shadows you've avoided, to tend to the wounds of your inner child, and to reclaim the power you once gave away. It is here, in the stillness and ache of longing, that spiritual maturity is born. The lessons you learn in this stage are not meant to be delayed until reunion. They are meant to shape you now into the version of yourself capable of embodying divine love. The universe does not put your evolution on hold while you wait. You are called to step into your power in the present moment, as a healer, a teacher, a channel of higher wisdom, or simply as a sacred presence who raises the frequency of every space you enter. Your mission might not involve grand gestures or public roles. Sometimes it is the quiet, steady work of being love in the places where love is most absent. Even if your counterpart is not awake, is still entangled with a karmic partner, or is actively running from the connection, your mission continues. It is not dependent on their choices, timelines, or level of awareness. You are here to hold the vibration of unconditional love, to stand unapologetically in your truth, and to remain a steady lighthouse, not one that chases ships, but one that shines so brightly they can find their way home if and when they are ready. When you understand this, the waiting ends. You begin to live your mission now, fully and unapologetically, knowing that every act of love you embody is already fulfilling the sacred promise your soul made before this lifetime began. Imagine a woman named Ilara who met her twin flame 3 years ago. Their connection was instant, soul-deep, and undeniable, but within months, they were separated by circumstance and fear. For a long time, she believed her mission was on hold until he returned. But slowly, she began to notice how the separation was shaping her. She started therapy to heal the abandonment wounds from her childhood. She began volunteering at a local women's shelter, offering compassion and guidance to those in crisis. She learned energy healing, not to fix her twin, but to strengthen her own vibration. And in the process, she became a source of peace and encouragement for friends, co-workers, and even strangers who crossed her path. Ilara never stood on a stage, never published a book, never announced her mission, yet her presence began shifting lives around her. She understood that her twin flame journey was not waiting for a union to begin. It had already begun the moment her soul recognized his. And through every choice to love, to forgive, and to grow, she was quietly fulfilling her sacred role. Number 4. When twin flames do align, the mission multiplies. When both twin flame counterparts reach a place of spiritual, emotional, and energetic harmony, something extraordinary unfolds. The mission they came here to fulfill is no longer simply a personal journey. It expands, magnifies, and rises into a higher octave of purpose. This is not merely the joyful moment of a romantic reunion, it is the ignition of spiritual amplification. In this sacred state, their combined energy becomes a beacon, radiating peace, truth, and clarity in such a pure form that it begins to awaken and transform others without the need for a single spoken word. Sacred union is not about grand displays or seeking recognition. It's about creating a resonance that naturally inspires and uplifts. From this state of deep alignment, twin flames often feel called to channel their shared energy into meaningful expressions, whether through art that touches the soul, movements that inspire collective change, projects that serve humanity, or healing spaces that provide refuge and renewal. These creations are never born from a desire to impress, but from an overflowing devotion to serve, to give back, and to reflect the divine blueprint they have remembered together. A healed twin flame union becomes a living, breathing template of what divine love looks and feels like in human form. It carries the vibration of truth that does not waver, compassion that embraces without judgment, boundaries that protect without closing the heart, and sacred intimacy that honors both the soul and the human experience. When others encounter such a union, they may not consciously understand why they are drawn to it, but they feel it. They feel the safety in its presence, the openness that invites authenticity, and the subtle yet undeniable healing that radiates from its very existence. This is how divine love teaches. It does not convince through argument or persuasion, nor does it demand attention through noise or performance. Instead, it leads by example, quietly, powerfully, and unshakably by embodying the truth it wishes to share with the world. In this way, twin flames in true alignment do not just fulfill their mission, they multiply it, weaving their love into the very fabric of collective transformation. If you've made it this far, it means something in these words has touched your heart. Maybe it reminded you of your own journey, or perhaps it planted a seed of hope for what's possible when two souls align in truth. I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt a love that not only changed you, but seemed to ripple out and touch the world around you? Share your story in the comments, or if you're not ready to share details, simply type, "Our love is a light to the world," as your affirmation. By writing it, you're declaring to the universe that your connection, whether in union or on the path toward it, is a force for healing, growth, and transformation. Your words might be the spark that encourages someone else to keep going. Number 5. You are the mission, union is the gift. If you have ever found yourself lying awake at night, wondering what your purpose is without your twin flame beside you, or fearing they may never awaken to this connection, let this truth settle deeply into your heart. You are the mission. The work your soul came here to do does not begin with their return, nor does it end with their absence. It is written in every moment you choose to rise instead of collapse, to open instead of close, to love again even after pain has left its mark. It is in your resilience, in your courage to stand in the light after walking through shadow, and in your willingness to keep your heart tender even when it has been broken. That is the quiet, unseen transformation that changes the world far more than any grand gesture ever could. Release the pressure to control the outcome. Let go of the need to see the full ending before you take the next step. You do not need to force a timeline, chase answers, or try to bend the journey into what your mind thinks it should be. The only task your soul truly asks of you is to remain aligned with love, not the fleeting emotion, but the living, breathing frequency of it. Love as a choice, love as a practice, love as the ground you stand on. When you live from this place, you create space for miracles to unfold. These miracles may not only weave their way into your twin flame connection, but also ripple out into your own personal life, your relationships, your community, and even the unseen realms of collective healing. You begin to notice that your presence alone can shift energy in a room, soothe a wounded heart, or inspire another soul to believe in love again, without you ever having to speak a word. Union may arrive in this lifetime, or it may not. That is not the measure of your success. Your soul's work is not about waiting in longing or running in pursuit. It is not about fixing the other person, nor is it about putting your life on hold for a future you cannot control. Your mission is to become love, to live love, and to radiate it so powerfully that it transforms every space you enter and every soul you touch. When you embody love in this way, steady, unwavering, and unshaken by circumstances, you fulfill the sacred promise your soul made before this lifetime began. Union, when it comes, will be a beautiful gift. But know this, the transformation you are living right now, in each breath and each choice, is already the miracle. The twin flame journey is not a waiting room where we sit for life to finally begin. nor is it a fairy tale that promises only a picture-perfect ending. It is a living, breathing invitation to be love, here, now, in this very moment. Every wound you tend to with courage, every choice you make to stay open when fear tries to close your heart, every breath you offer in compassion, all of it becomes a thread of light woven into the tapestry of our collective awakening. Whether you stand in the sweetness of union or the ache of separation, your very presence is already rippling through the world, shifting hearts toward a more conscious, divine way of loving. You are not just walking the sacred path, you are the path. The mission is not somewhere in the distance, it is alive in you now. And when union arrives, it will be a blessing. But never forget, the transformation you are embodying in this moment is already the miracle. You're already changing the world simply by choosing to love as you do. If these words have stirred something in your soul, I invite you to reflect and share in the comments a single sentence that speaks to you most deeply. Write, "I am the mission," as a declaration of your truth. Like this video, share it so the light can travel further. And if your heart is calling, watch the next video appearing here on the screen. Your journey matters, and your love is needed now more than ever.